Good morning, dear students. Today's our topic is over-the-counter drugs. Over-the-counter drugs is OTC drugs. Since today's our learning objectives, what are OTCs, and if comparing these prescription drugs, what are the differences? What are the main criteria required to need a OTC drugs? And what are the advantages, disadvantages? And then we discuss most commonly used OTCs. Then what are the OTC abuses? Are this OTC administration is safe and effective? Okay. So what is OTC medicines? OTC drugs which are safe and effective for use by general public without a medical practitioner's prescriptions. OTC drugs are usually sold in lower doses than their prescription counterparts and are used primarily to treat the symptoms of disease. Based on the Durham-Himmel Amendment Act, FDA grant the permission to determine some drug groups without a prescription. Okay, these are some strict FDA instructions on OTC drugs label. Advocate direction for use and warning against unsafe use, and should mention the adverse effects. All these things should include in the OTC drugs label. So it is prescription versus OTC drugs. Since 1951, US laws divided drugs into two different classes, prescription and non-prescription drugs. These prescription drugs are usually regulated by FDA through the new drug application process for approval for marketing in United States. FDA also regulates OTC drugs through a drug monograph, this containing acceptable ingredients, doses, formulations and labeling requirements. In this prescription classes, drugs usually help to minimize the risk of patients misusing habit-forming and dangerous drugs and drugs for difficult to diagnose medical conditions. Usually this expert advise patients to consult a doctor before taking new OTC drugs. Some people are allergic to certain OTC medications and others are not safe for pregnant women. There's certain cold, flu, pain. This OTC medication sometimes rise the BP or interfere with prescribed BP medications. What are the important criteria should follow OTC drugs? Generally, drugs can become OTC if they have low potential for misuse and abuse, and they are used for self-diagnosed conditions. They can be used safely and effectively without a healthcare provider's instruction. They can be adequately labeled. In label, they should follow the instructions according to FDA, should mention the safety profile. These are the most commonly used OTC medications. Usually these pain relievers categories, this NSAID groups, this usually used for mild pain or fever. Mostly these active ingredients in these medications are acetaminophen, this NSAID is aspirin, ibuprofen, naproxen. These drugs are mostly used OTC category. Generally these are considered as safe and free of side effects, but should know about the aware of several risks also. And the most commonly used ones are laxatives and antidiarrheal drugs. These laxatives usually show some risk if used improperly, but most of common problems that from laxatives are because of this overuse. Most of are used in mild conditions, and these OTC laxatives are not recommended for these patients with mild constipations. And another most commonly used one are heartburn remedies, that is OTC drugs mainly used for this antacids categories. These proton pump inhibitors, H2 blockers categories are mostly used one. And this generally these drugs are free of side effects, but there's a chance of some interactions with some prescribed medications. And the most used is the sleep aids, OTC sleep aids. This don't cause this sleepwalking or some prescription sleep medications do, but they still have some risk. Some OTC sleep aids longer efficacy than 8 hours. And the most commonly used OTCs are cough and cold allergy remedies. Mostly these antihistamines, cough suppressants, decongestants, expectorants. These categories of drugs are mostly used OTCs, and this shows some of mild side effects. Mostly this this the second generation antihistamines are better. This the according to side effect profile. According to FDA, this OTC cold and cough medications to infants or small younger children's than 4 years is not advised because of life-threatening side effects. These are the most commonly used OTC drugs. Thus, analgesic categories is aspirin, acetaminophen, ibuprofen, naproxen, decongestants drugs like pseudoephedrine, phenylephrine, oxymetazoline. Expectorants categories guaifenesin, antitussive drugs, dextromethorphan, brompheniramine, antipyretics, aspirin, acetaminophen, ibuprofen. These are the most used analgesics, antihistaminics, OTC drugs. Some of this also includes like this antihistamines, anesthetics like this benzocaine, and mostly uses antihistamines, expectorants, and analgesics categories. Okay, thus the OTC drugs mostly used in this pregnancy. Mostly this NSAID categories like this. Acetaminophen, this mostly used as the over the counter in pregnancy. And another one is the chlorpheniramine. Chlorpheniramine, that's the antihistaminics categories, is also used one. And under some of these laxatives categories also use. But this according to FDA, this the risk category drugs, some of this should be avoided. Commonly used over the counter medications are chlorpheniramine, acetophen, caloin, pectin preparations, some of antacid preparations like this H2 blockers. These have good safety records, but this atropine diphenoxylate should be used with cautions. If you use smoking cessation products is desired, the intermediate release preparations minimize the amount of nicotine. So this NSAIDs, some of these NSAIDs and laxatives are considered as safer OTCs in pregnancy. Okay, this OTC drugs are safe or not? These OTC drugs are approved by FDA and have proven to be safe and effective. But in 1992, FDA has banned over 400 ingredients from 7 categories of OTC products. What are the effective and safe use of OTCs? Uh, this labeling is most important. Read the product label carefully and do not take OTC medications longer or in higher dose than recommended. All these OTC medications are not safe for everyone. And if you are using these cold or cough remedies, avoid alcohol consumptions. And is also avoid OTC sleep aids if you are taking the prescribed sedative type drugs. Usually avoid this antihistamine decongestant combination drugs. And another important thing is This OTC storage. Store this OTC drugs in cool, dry place, and important thing is you should check the expiry dates. Next we come to the abuse of OTC use. Mostly these cough mixtures, cold remedies usually contains the codeine based preparations, mostly abused one, and analgesic, sleep aids, antihistaminic combinations are reported some abuse of this OTC. Next we come to this, the what are the FDA requirement for OTC drugs? Mainly this OTC monogram products. This complains with OTC monogram. This should ingredients, concentrations, and purpose should be in accordance with OTC monogram. And OTC drug labeling is important. This the content format of labeling should be in accordance with FDA OTC drug labeling requirements. Then about the registration, manufacturing facilities involved in manufacturing, package, processing the drug must be registered with FDA. And this drug listing is a mandatory requirement for all drug products marketed in USA. In good manufacturing practice, this manufacture of products should be in accordance with GMP. This is a good manufacturing practice is also essential for. These are the main FDA requirements for OTC drugs. If a marketed analysis is checked, these drugs used by Indians, mostly these OTC drugs are 55% of OTC drugs are used one, and only 45% prescription drugs are used. So these OTC drugs usage are increased in India. If you check the studies in OTC drugs in Bangladesh, 94% of Bangladesh took drugs without prescription. Mostly this NSAID usage, this reported 87%, metronidazole 51, antacids, mostly this ranitidine 59%, vitamins, antibiotics, sedative, tranquilizers, antidepressants, all these usages are increased. Why this OTC drugs usage is high in Bangladesh? Because its non-availability of doctors and lack of legal restrictions on the sale of drug without prescription. Most of them are the lack of awareness of this drug usage. So this increased NSAID usage has reported the peptic ulcerations. And so this drug abuse also reported for this greater consumptions of these drugs, mainly according to this International Narcotic Control Board. This reported the drug abuse on this OTC drug abuse increased the HIV and hepatitis infections rate. So this irrelevance of OTC drugs promote permanent chronic diseases. So this OTC drug should be controlled and used properly. This OTC drug references, mainly this list of approved drug products with therapeutic equivalence evaluations in orange books. It is supposed to used in pharmacy in all time in US. Okay, now discuss about some of these OTC drugs, their important safety issues, and their approvals. Now we discussed about some OTCs, how these prescription medications differ from OTCs. We discussed this the difference of these prescriptions and OTC drugs also. This they contains much smaller amount of active ingredients. Yes, they don't contain dyes or preservatives. They can be toxic. They are unsafe for use without medical supervisions. Yes, these OTC drugs are sometimes unsafe for use without medical supervision. Then what should follow certain precautions when self-treat with OTCs? You should know what symptoms you are trying to treat. and read the label carefully and follow the dosage instructions that's given in the strip, and follow any label warnings. So all these points should keep in your mind before you self treat with OTCs. Okay, most of these NSAIDs are used. One, this aspirin, this mainly caused with which of these conditions? Asthma, bronchitis, sinusitis, low blood pressure. Aspirin causes mostly this administrations are causing this asthma. That is aspirin, if add with other salicylates, can bring on severe asthma attacks in sensitive people. Those is persons with nasal polyps also have the breathing problems. Others at risk are those who are high blood pressure, and children, teenagers shouldn't be given aspirin because of its causes the rise syndromes, potentially fatal illness. Next is persons who are allergic to aspirin may also be allergic to which of other OTCs. If a person is allergic to aspirin, they also allergic to other NSAID drugs also. Naproxen, ketoprofen, ibuprofen, all are allergic. They showing the allergic reactions like rashes, itching, breathing problems. Okay, then older adults are especially vulnerable to the side effects of which of these OTCs? Laxatives, pain relievers, antihistamines, decongestants. Which one? Mostly these older adults are especially vulnerable to the side effects of antihistamines because this blocks the histamine receptor sites. So these older adults may have the pronounced side effects like the confusion, dry mouth, lightheadedness, and problems with urinations. So this FDA says a side effects of antihistamines is the blocking of neurotransmitters is acetylcholine. This older adults makes less acetylcholine, so this can't use it as well. So these older adults are more vulnerable with the usage of antihistamines. Mostly used OTCs are antacids. These antacids are often taken for digestive problems. If any greatest danger for this usage, antacids usually affects the absorptions of other medications. This increase or decrease the rate of other medications are absorbed, and so another danger one is if taking these antacids for longer periods without a diagnosis, is that they usually mask the serious problems like ulcer, esophageal or stomach cancer. So this is the greatest dangerous of this antacid administrations. Okay, thank you.